morning, everyone. I'm Xueting from HDB, and I have Jamil with me today to showcase a distance calculation web tool that we developed to support HDB sales launch application. Before we dive into the details of the tool, let me share with you some background, the terminology that we used in HDB, and also the problems that we are trying to solve with our web tool. So in HDB, we have two main types of applications. One is called the build to order, BTO, and another one is sales of balancing, the SBF. I believe BTO is a familiar term to most of the Singaporeans. It offers the citizen the flexibility in the location and the timing of their flat purchase. And then it also offers them a range of flat type across different towns. SBF, on another hand, consists of a mixture of flats from earlier BTO exercises, surpluses unit, and pre-purchase flats. Every SBF launch typically spans all towns across Singapore. So our distance calculation tool supports both types of applications. These flats are released for public applications during the sales launch period, which public can apply these flats under some scheme, which can help them to increase their ballot chance. So one key policy assessed during the sales launch is the family care scheme. This scheme gives the applicants the priority access if they choose to live near or live with their parents or children. So to qualify, the new flats that the applicants apply must be located within 4 kilometers to their parents' or children's flat. So for each sales launch, HDB will typically receive over 30,000 applications. At this scale, ensuring the accuracy, timeliness, and reliability of the data is mission critical. This also means that before every sales launch, we must perform large-scale spatial distance calculation to determine the applicant's eligibility. So from a geospatial perspective, this is not just a simple point-to-point distance calculation. We are actually using polygon-to-polygon distance calculations to calculate the distance between the buildings in BTO and SBF and the surrounding residential units. Each building has irregular geometry, multiple vertices, and complex boundary. And we must always identify what is the shortest valid distances. So to handle this complexity, before we introduce the tool, we actually leverage FME software for data processing and Azure Spatial Engine for distance computation. So because of this, our team actually come up with this web tool because we asked ourselves this question: is there a way to make this nationwide policy-critical spatial distance calculation faster, more reliable, and more accurate so that we are able to make the whole sales launch process faster? Yeah, so I will now pass over to Jamil to walk you through the web tool that we actually developed to support the sales launch.
Thank you, Xueting. Now I'll bring you through the new workflow of our web tool. Our automated web tool now transforms the user's experience completely. Now, instead of sending postal codes through emails and waiting for the result file, the BTO team can now directly upload their project files onto ArcGIS portal and run the web tool by themselves without waiting for any teams. Now they can get their result files within minutes. Our web tool has solved all operational challenges that Xueting has mentioned before. Firstly, we have streamlined our workflow. 6 individual workspaces are now consolidated into one unified execution. This removes the previous sequential dependency entirely, freeing up 3 specialists from repetitive monitoring tasks. This allows us to save up to 300 hours of manpower per year. Next, we managed to significantly reduce the processing time of this calculation from 2 hours to as fast as 5 minutes. This is possible by tapping onto ArcGIS server's stronger processing power and eliminating any possible human errors due to manual configurations. Lastly, the self-service capability of this web tool removes our team from the distance calculation process. This removes the previous handover bottlenecks while allowing the BTO team to directly retrieve their result files. This in turn allows us to reduce the turnaround time from 4 days to 5 minutes. We have successfully tested this web tool against the past BTO launch and the upcoming BTO launch, and we have seen concrete improvements and impact. Our web tool has led to massive impact by accelerating the distance calculation of over 30,000 applications. Our web tool is also extremely time-saving. As mentioned before, we managed to reduce the processing time from 2 hours to 5 minutes and reduce the turnaround times from 4 days to 5 minutes. This allows us to better meet the tight BTO sales launch timelines, reducing and eliminating any critical project delays. Our web tool also improves on accuracy and efficiency. By eliminating any manual processes, we remove any possibility of human errors. When tested against the last and the upcoming BTO launch, we have seen 0 errors from our web tool. Our streamlined workflow also transformed the once manual and ad hoc process into an automated and systematic approach. This clear and repeatable workflow can now adapt to changes in policies and computational requirements more flexibly. Also, our tool enables the optimization of resources by freeing up 3 geospecialists from doing repetitive executions. This allows them to focus more on higher level geospatial tasks. Lastly, our web tool is also highly scalable. Our web tool, the automation eliminates any manual bottleneck, which enables higher project volume and open up possibility for expansion into applications for resales projects. Now let me bring you through how a user will exactly use this web tool through a video live demonstration. So we have our web tool here. So for the users to use this web tool, they will first need to upload their project files onto ArcGIS portal, and then enter the URL as an input into the web tool, and then run this web tool. The users can, after that, download the output files directly from ArcGIS portal. So to open this web tool, we'll first go and click the View button at the top right corner. From here, we can see 4 inputs. The first one is month of sales launch, where the users can enter the date, which we'll then use for the file name configuration. Next, we have include SPF in calculation. So for context, not all BTO launches includes SPF flats. So here, the users can decide if they want to include it in this run. Next, we have the 2 empty fields, which is for the project file URLs. So to get this URL, the user will need to first upload their project files onto ArcGIS portal. So after the file is uploaded, we can find it in the contents page, and then from there, we can access the uploaded table, which is below. From there, we can access the URL. Now we have all the information to fill up all the input fields for the web tool, and then all that's left to do for the user is to click Run. So once the calculation is completed, a URL will be uploaded, and then the users can just follow this to the specific folder that contains the output file on ArcGIS portal. Here, we can also see the number of entries that has been produced and the total runtime taken for the files to be output. So just to let you have a better understanding of how the calculation actually works, so this is a visual representation of the output file. So we can see the red icon at the top is where the new BTO projects are located. And all the purple dots around it is the existing residential buildings that are within the 4-kilometer radius. So the output file will contain all the distance between the BTO projects and the existing residential buildings. In closing, let me share with you on our broader vision. This distance calculation tool represents HDB's first step in our automation journey. While we are starting off with the family care scheme, our long-term plan is to scale this approach across multiple housing policies and schemes. We are looking to explore a future where spatial analysis, eligibility checks, and policy validations are seamlessly automated, enabling our officers to focus on more higher-value strategic planning rather than manual calculations. This tool is just the beginning of transforming how HDB leverages on technology to serve Singaporeans more efficiently. Once again, we are Shreting and Jimmy. Thank you for your time.